We're both very big fans, and first, congratulations on winning. We won't stray too much on Drag Race for you. I'm sure you've talked about that enough. We did have one question for you specifically, though, because did you know in the first episode, like we did watching it, that you were going to win?
I didn't know, actually. It was a really close call.
We mean the whole
the whole
season.
thing. It was... As soon as we came out, the very first challenge, in fact, our very first podcast, when we were going over all the contestants, the first thing we said about you were, well, she's going to win.
Oh, wow. Did you really say that? Is there proof?
Yes, there's proof online. It may have actually been the second
awesome.
episode. It was most likely the first or the second, but we knew right away it was going to be you.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Well, thank
really
you for taking...
That's so sweet.
Well, thank you for taking the time to call in and talk to us.
Yeah, no worries.
Awesome. And I know a lot of things you've already discussed. I'm sure you've gone over a lot of things in interviews. If there's something you don't want to talk about again, that's just fine. We can move on to anything.
Okay,
But
that's great. No one told me that before. That's great to hear.
yeah, sure. We can also go pretty off the wall with any questions you'd like as well. We don't really have a set standard. One thing, of course, we do want to talk about for the interview, we'll get into your album since you're going to be here on August 7th. But we wanted to get into the name, of course. I know I read before that your name had come from collectibles.
Yes, I actually collect tchotchkes, different Avon bottles, perfumes, and poodle statues and clown figurines, like just different types of random bric-a-brac kind of thing.
That's awesome. Now, are they all displayed everywhere? Are you a hoarder?
Yes, I used to be a hoarder. I like to say that. I tried moved, and I kind of like toned down my tchotchkes. I only pick my favorites now.
Aw, well, that's
Which
fantastic.
sounds like a crazy cat lady, but it's true.
You didn't strike me as that on the show.
Yeah,
So,
no, I collect all types of stuff. My house is like overflowing, actually. I need to get rid of some shit.
I'm sure you can sell it on eBay now, don't worry.
Yeah, right?
So, let me ask you, what made you decide to audition for the show?
Well, I had auditioned last season. I didn't get on, and I kind of, I remember I had just gotten back from a trip from New York, and was kind of like trying to figure out what my next move was. And I was like, okay, if I don't get on the show, I'm just going to move to New York, and that's going to be that. So I kind of was just planning my life, and then I got on the show, and so I just moved to New York, and I got on the show, and I just kind of I really wanted it. I really wanted to get on the show, and I was kind of determined. I auditioned and was like, this is what I want, and I made it very clear in the video that's what I wanted. And yeah, I told myself if I didn't get on the show, I was going to just move and make to New York. And
wow, were you wrong?
Creative.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really gratifying. It's awesome to like set out to do something and accomplish the goal. It's amazing.
Were you a fan of the show going in? Did you have any drag influences that made you want to get on the show?
Definitely. I mean, Rupaul is a huge influence. I think she's really capitalized on the drag world market, and it's really inspiring to see someone as hardworking as she is.
So are you currently in New York, or are you still in Atlanta?
I'm in, right now I'm in Los Angeles, but I still physically live in it.
Oh, gotcha. Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and I was going to ask you, obviously you've become a much bigger draw. I know you were already a celebrity being a performer, but now you become a much larger draw, and being the youngest winner with the smallest waist ever on RuPaul's Drag Race, I'm sure you're getting a lot of feedback.
Yes, I am. Positive and negative. It's great.
Yes, I was going to say, I'm sure the community's been reaching out and really looking up to you. And I'm sure you've inspired a lot of folks, but really, what are some of the negative things you've heard?
What are some of the negative things I've heard?
Yeah.
I try not to, dwell on them because it can be really toxic. I mean, this season particularly, I think the fandom is out of hand, in my opinion.
Sure.
And it can be really just inappropriate and rude and hateful. I think people see the show and they see the fantasy of it, and they forget that we're actually just gay boys in dresses trying to do art.
That's right.
And some of the stuff people can be really degrading and hurtful, and think that people get really caught up in the show and don't know how to really separate reality from reality TV, and it can be really frustrating. And part of me, wants to just snap on people and tell them off. people, I don't think, have any idea how hard we actually work and how much...
No! Oh no!
Tell her it's like...
No. We're trying to
Well, that was the interview.
Your call has been forwarded to an...
Question.
Yeah, we didn't. It was easier to hang up on you than it was to turn off the recording. But no,
Yeah, I bet.
I'm so sorry about that. You were talking about just some of the ways people treat, and not necessarily a character, because I know when you're performing, it's also a part of you. But it kind of reminds me of Joffrey from Game of Thrones. He was getting death threats, just because of his
Well,
character.
people from Drag Race receive death threats. I heard Jasmine Masters received threats.
Yes, Jasmine Masters. Well, and I'm sure Jasmine's one of the girls that kind of engages with people, and I'm sure if I engage with people, I would receive death threats as well. I try to really not engage at all on Twitter, on Instagram, and I think the fandom this season has really gotten out of hand. And they feel entitled. They feel like they own us, or that we owe something to them. And I think it's ridiculous. I think especially recently, it's just ridiculous. They're taking it to the next level, and I think that it's kind of getting out of hand. And part of me wants to, make a really dramatic post about it and just adjust everything. And the other part of me is like, you know what? They don't deserve that. Just keep doing your art and don't focus on it. But I think people need to humanize us and realize that we're literally just trying. We're hustling so hard. It's not easy. Drag is still not taken seriously in the entertainment industry, in the entertainment world. Like, going to large-scale events, like, we're looked at as clowns. Like, people don't even, the mainstream media don't even, like, see us as individuals. We're just, like, the Rupaul girls. Like, it's a lot of work to try to make it in the mainstream entertainment industry, and I don't think the fandom realizes that it is a lot of work. All they just want a lot from us.
Sure. Well, I would imagine also it's hard, once you win such a tough contest like that.
It's a competition, and all of a sudden you're not allowed to be mean to each other. It's a competition.
Well, I was going to say is once you win it, once you're in the limelight, everyone sees you. As you were saying, it's like, that's one of RuPaul's girls. That's one of. Not that you can't shake the RuPaul title, but no one sees you as Violet. I mean, well, people do. We do, but I'm sure as you were saying.
But I mean, going to like larger scale events that aren't in the gay world or in the drag world, it's hard to kind of have that individuality. You're working really hard to kind of make it in mainstream society. And as a drag queen, you're just not taken seriously. I mean, people just don't give you the time of day. And it sucks when your own queer community is kind of hating on you. It'd be really cool to have a drag race fandom that was really uplifting and supportive, and was wanting to see all of us be really successful outside of the drag race community, outside of the gay community, in the straight world, in mainstream media, and they were really supportive and pushing us to be successful and to push the gay agenda and push the queer agenda. But, it doesn't feel like that at all. It feels like the total opposite, You come home from a hard day of work, like, trying to make a name for yourself and trying to push, the gay agenda, and you've got haters on Reddit, on Instagram, on Twitter, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, it's really easy to get hateful inside of your own community, but you have to look at the bigger picture, and I think a lot of the fandom has just gotten carried away and is just entitled and ungrateful, and it's amazing. We're drag queens on national television. We're getting global attention, and I wish people would just step back and realize that it's not all about them. And
well, I completely agree with you. I'm sorry you have to go through so much of that. Hopefully, when you get to Nashville,
I try not to deal with it. I literally don't respond. That's the other thing is, like, I get a lot of positive messages as well, and I don't respond to any of them because I don't want to read the negative, and I don't want to have to sift through a bunch of either positive or negative messages and find anything negative, just because I don't think I deserve that.
Well, we're at least going to flatter the hell out of you today, so.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that.
There won't be any negative comments today, don't worry. Except for this one. No, I'm just kidding. We will.
Except for this one thing I had to say to you.
Except for my sign off here I wrote down for later.
There was one thing I had to say to you.
So let's jump on into hear the album.
Yeah.
I got to listen to it. I know it was part of it was sent to me last night. I like it a lot. I gotta say, I'm 32 years old. I haven't been to the club dance scene in a while, but I really enjoyed it. I gotta say, I really liked Harlequin. Well, I like a lot of it. Yeah, I thought that one was the most fun for me. Of course, we'll get into the songs. I did read a little bit about the background for Betty. I really like the inspiration on that one.
Thank you. Yeah, I love that. I love the way the video turned out. I love the way the EP turned out. I actually got to work with Tommy Lee on that particular song on Betty, and it's so awesome to have Tommy Lee work on one of your tracks.
That's pretty awesome. So let's. What would you say is your favorite one on there out of the 5?
I think I like Betty just because it was the first one that we kind of conceptualized the video for, and I think that's really what I like doing. I like the visual that goes along with the music, and that's kind of why I wanted to do music. Not really being a singer myself, I kind of just wanted to create a soundtrack as like a way, as kind of like a background to the visuals that I create. So I think I like Betty the most. It's one of the coolest songs I think off the EP, which is why I picked it for my first single.
Cool.
Yeah, I love that song so much. It was like one of my babies. So.
Oh, yeah, I like that a lot, and especially with that background, having Tommy Lee work with you, that'll never be let go.
Yeah, of course. It's really cool. It's really gratifying to have that experience under my belt.
Now, I did read something as well about clowns. Did it inspire you?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Actually, I love clowns. I think that if you think about it, I mean, clowns kind of only have like one outfit or one look, and like I said, I'm a very visual person, so I've always been interested to see like that's what the main source of entertainment was. Like that's like a really, really strong visual for entertainment, and it's really just one outfit, you know. So I've always been kind of fascinated by that. And I mean, I feel like a clown half the time, like I was saying. Especially in mainstream society, we're literally just like the court jesters of the entertainment industry. But I mean, there's also a lot of.
That's almost flattering, the way you said it.
Yeah, no, it's not. It is flattering. That's why I look at clowns and I get inspired. I think it's really cool. But it's really just like one look. It's one outfit, and that's kind of the only visual people had for a while for entertainment.
Man, that's a great view on that. Thank you. So one thing we're really excited to talk about, the Vanguard video.
Oh, yes.
I liked the Vanguard video a lot. I like the message in it.
Thank you.
I was real excited, as Brandon was too, to get to finally see your
aerial silks.
Yeah,
we never got to see that during the show. You never touched on it, and I remember when we were watching.
I actually did touch on it. They just didn't put it in. I didn't
that's what it was.
Show, but I talked about it.
Well, when we were
what
watching,
were you talking about?
When we were watching the reunion, and I saw that all the 3 finalists were going to do a solo number, I said, "Oh my God, this would be perfect. I think Violet Chachki might do the aerial silks." But you didn't disappoint in your solo number, so it didn't matter. But it would have been nice to see you do those aerial silks there.
Yeah, I wish I could have. It's really hard with like insurance and safety precautions.
She wasn't sure if you were going to win yet.
Yeah, it's difficult. You have to like jump through hoops in order to get a club to agree to let you do that. Which I have no problem doing. It's a little bit time consuming trying to like work out all the kinks and like rigging and safety concerns and all that kind of stuff. And the network was very weary when I brought it up to them. They were like, I don't know.
Like, we don't know. We want to give you $100,000 just yet. So.
Yeah, exactly. I think
we'll tell you our decision the day after.
Yeah.
So, there's one thing I didn't find believable in the video, and that was you were walking into a fast food restaurant. Because there's no way you maintain that 18-inch waist by going to a fast food restaurant.
It's really funny. I eat all the time. Like, I eat all the time. There's pictures of me eating. There's proof.
There's pictures.
People really think that, like, sometimes I joke about, like, anorexia or bulimia, kind of like RuPaul does with her whole TikTok luncheon. But I seriously, I eat all the time. I don't necessarily eat fast food. But actually, that video was based off a real-life experience that happened in Australia.
Oh, no.
And I was actually in a McDonald's getting French fries at, like, 3 in the morning in drag. So I guess I did. I did have fast food at one time in Australia.
So what happened in the restaurant?
There were just some locals, some Aboriginals to Australia that were like trying to fight me. I was in drag and I was like drunk and not having it at all, and I was like pretty much ready to beat their ass. And then I got my friend shoved me out of the restaurant before I could get physical, but I was so ready to kick some ass. They were like scrawny little Australian boys.
Oh, they're cute.
It was kind of a haze of me like screaming obscenities, but from what I do remember, some of them were mildly attractive. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I might let them hold me down for a little while.
We're going to Australia.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, there's always some sort of homoerotic undertone with end-stop bashing.
That's right. I like in the video, of course, you start fighting back. I thought it was awesome, and then I even said while watching, I was like, "Oh wow!" When the other man came behind and hit the guy in the head with a bottle.
When everyone came to your defense.
Yeah.
That was so cool, and I think that was a really cool message, just showing that even though there's still those bullies and the haters out there, now we've got. I mean, people are starting to realize, and people will, jump up and defend and come to the aid of.
People just won't sit back anymore and watch this happen.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a sign of the times, actually. It's a great time to be a gay person. It's a great time to be a drag queen. It's a great time to be a trans woman. It's a great time to be a queer person in general. There's there's just a lot of strength in numbers, and I think that I definitely wanted to show that because there's actually is a lot of support out there. That's kind of what Vanguard means. It's like, kind of like a military force.
Well, I love the video. I really did. It was very inspiring. I definitely hope that a lot of younger, anyone looking to do drag or any young transgenders get to see that. I mean, hopefully it inspires something in them, And I'll touch on that later on with you and the youth, if you don't mind, and with future inspirations. But I was going to ask in the video, is that your dog?
Is that my dog? No, I could never own an animal. I'm never home.
Oh, God.
You can have a boyfriend or a dog when you're on the road.
So you're single, huh?
I am single.
Well, we'll be there August 7th for your review, so if you want to pick either of these eligible suitors.
Gay marriage just passed.
Okay, well, so, in fact, Brandon just mentioned gay marriage, of course, and you were saying it's such a strong time. And it really is.
Yeah.
And for just everyone coming together. So we're real happy for the gay marriage. Of course, there's still a lot of bullying going on. Unfortunately, that's never going to end, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing time. It's really inspiring, actually. I feel like I can conquer the world since marriage equality passed.
That's great to hear, and hopefully you do. I'd be behind you. So,
thank you.
What are really some things? Because obviously there's a lot of videos of kids getting bullied, and a lot of stories of this happening on as a performer and as the winner of the next drag superstar, and really a public figure. I mean, what are some things you hope to pass on to our youth and our the LGBTQ community, and especially people looking to aspire to do the same thing?
I think confidence is the biggest thing that you can probably take away from watching the show. Yeah, I think if you want something, you just kind of have to go and take it and do it. Like you guys said, you called it from the second episode, and that's what I wanted. I mean, I went in Drag Race really confident and knew exactly what I wanted, and just kind of went in and took it. And I think that's the approach that you need to have with life, and I think that's one of the biggest keys to drag. When you're performing on stage, you have to have confidence. You have to be really know what you're doing and really own it, and that's what makes a good drag queen, I think. I think that also is what makes a good person. I think if you want something, just be confident and do it.
I agree with you on that too. Yeah, you're. One thing, because we actually did some recaps on the episodes when we found out we were going to get a chance to talk to you, and gosh, you were only doing it for 3 years, right?
Yeah, I've only been professionally doing drag for about 3 years.
I mean, if that is not an inspiration to anybody, I mean, because there were queens on there for 17 years, 20 plus years. I guess I'm not sure what.
Well, Kennedy was 17 years. I remember her saying that.
And Tempest, I think she was maybe longer. I'm not sure, but regardless, I mean, those were. I guess did you have the least experience of anyone on there? I would assume with 3 years.
No, I think probably Max or Fame probably had the least experience as far as like performing goes. Yeah. Me and Max are probably about tied on how long we've been doing drag.
He's only a year older, right?
Performed more. Yeah, she's I'm like a little bit older than she is.
Oh.
Well, I mean, that's all. That's congratulations. Like I said, that's such an inspiration just to be able to show that if you do work hard, and even in 3 years, you can fine tune a craft so much that you can win the biggest competition in that category. You know, I mean, that's.
Yeah, it's insane. I'm like, okay, well, what next? You know, it's crazy.
Let's get in. We'll use most of that for our article, really, to kind of appease to our other folks. But let's get into some fun questions, if you don't mind, if you got time.
Yeah, let's chat.
Who is your celebrity crush?
Wait, what was the question?
Who's your celebrity crush?
My celebrity crush. Oh, probably Laverne Cox.
Laverne. Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't think I even know who Laverne Cox is.
Laverne Cox?
Uh-uh.
That's like one of the biggest trans icons.
Oh, for a celebrity, like if you were to have a chance to marry one of the hot, you would marry Laverne Cox?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Okay, well, I'll have to look that up.
Okay. No Brad Pitt, no.
I'm not like a big celebrity person. I think she's probably the most attractive one to me right
Oh.
now.
I see. I would have said Dave Franco.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of seems like a douchebag, but...
He very well may be.
I have a question. How's Miss Fame's head?
Oh my god, it's great. Really. I definitely didn't complain.
Okay.
During the edits and
Very thorough.
Thorough.
during the edits and everything, you know, because I'm sure. Did you watch the season?
Yeah, of course.
Well, there's actually some people we've talked to before. Some of the queens in past seasons, they said. Of course, I'm sure they were lying, but they were like, "No, I didn't even watch the show this season."
Magnolia Crawford.
I watch anything that I'm recorded on, pictures, videos, I watch it.
Oh, good. Well, hopefully I'll...
So if you had been eliminated first episode, you wouldn't have seen the rest of the season. That's what you're saying.
I don't know about that. If I'm on it, I'll be watching it. If I'm not on it, I'll probably looking to watch it.
There was no way that was going to happen. Who was your favorite judge?
I think Ariana Grande is my favorite judge. I think she's so cute and sweet, and my experience with her was amazing, and I like that she is an ally for the LGBT community.
Yep.
And she was such a sweetheart. You know, I've heard horror stories about her, but it's like, you know what? I've heard horror stories about me. So.
Well, she was a big supporter of you too on the show. So
Yeah, no, she was so sweet. And her grandma was there. It was so cute. Her grandma was watching the lip sync for Your Life because they performed her song "Break Free."
Yeah, it was Candy
really
and Nashville native.
Jaden Dior.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was so cute to see her grandma there supporting her. She's around the same age as me, so I relate to her in that aspect. And seeing her grandma really supportive, and having her grandma see what drag queens perform her song must be a really cool experience.
Wow.
That was so cute.
Oh, that's awesome. She loved that. That's great. That's great y'all did that. Have you ever been to Nashville, just out of curiosity?
What's that?
Have you ever been to Nashville?
I think so. I was Louisville. I played Louisville. That's right.
One thing you're gonna. Well, you're gonna be here August 7th. I know. I'm not sure if you're performing, but I think that's what they said, or at least your album.
Or maybe they're having an album release.
They might be
party
having an album release party
honor.
in your honor. I hope you get to make it though. But yeah, if you ever do, then don't worry. It's gonna you're gonna be treated great here. All the Southern hospitality, I'm sure you've experienced it.
Yeah, no, I'm used to Southern hospitality. I love it.
So one big thing you like to talk about, but one thing you've mentioned before, I guess I'm not sure if it's like to talk about it as a flattering thing to say, but it's fetishes.
Yeah, the Trinity.
Absolutely. What are some of yours?
I have a shoe fetish, that's for sure.
Ah.
I love shoes. I love wearing shoes.
Steven's wearing Crocs right now. If that entices you.
What's that?
I'm wearing Crocs right now. No, I'm not really.
Oh, work. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, continue.
I'm so sorry. Go on.
I don't know. I have a lot. I can't give too much information away. I have to have some sort of history.
I understand. I would have assumed a leather fetish for you, just from all the episodes.
I love latex. I love leather. I love fetish pumps. I like rollovers. So there's lots of things. I can keep going, but I don't.
That's okay.
Okay, we won't.
I want all the fun, but it's so crazy.
That's all right. Who would you say is probably one of the contestants that gave you the biggest challenge?
Myself.
If you trip and fail, you might.
Yeah, I think it's hard when you're on the show to kind of like stay out of your head and just focus on the competition and kind of put all whatever bullshit's going on kind of put it aside. And I think I did a pretty good job at that. And it was kind of surprising going on the show because I just kind of went on there to do my art and to showcase my talent. And that's really all I wanted to do. And then you get on there and there's all this extra stuff you have to do. You know, there's like your background story, your story arc, there's like all this drama with the girls going on, there's like physical stuff you're going through, like exhaustion. So yeah, I think I did a pretty good job of steering clear of anything extra. It was difficult, but I did a pretty good job of it.
Well, what was your most difficult moment on the show that you can think of?
Oh God, there were so many.
Was it Snatch Game?
I don't know. It wasn't really a lot on camera. I think I kind of had some like mental breakdowns in my hotel room. Just kind of fighting through. Well, that's part of it. I mean, we all kind of go back home to our hotel rooms, and we're like, that's really your only alone time is when you're locked in your hotel room. So you kind of just get to decompress and think about everything and think about back home and everything. So I think just staying focused throughout the entire competition was one of my biggest things to overcome.
You didn't get to talk to the outside world, right? You didn't get to have any communication during your time there.
No, yeah, you don't get. They take your phone and your wallet when you land.
God, that's gotta be.
I mean, it's necessary. The necessary steps to kind of preserve the illusion.
I couldn't imagine doing that. How long was the entire season? Was it really the 14 weeks?
It was something like that. I can't really remember exactly how long it was, but it was something like that, yeah.
Wow.
It's probably like being in prison. You don't know how long you're there. You're just marking on the wall.
Yeah, no, you lose track of time. Like, you hear one of the PAs be like, Tuesday I'm going to go see, and you're like, what day is it? It's better not to know, not to look at the calendar, not to think about.
That I believe. One last fun question from me here. What is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie? Right now, I'm going to say that it's Bound, just because that's where I got my name from.
Bound with Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershon?
Yes.
Yes. I love that movie.
I love that movie. So my character was based off of Jennifer Tilly's character, Violet.
Really?
That's where I got my name from.
That's awesome.
We're going to have to watch that later.
Yeah, no, and I love that movie. I love that they're like money-hungry lesbians. There's like that whole Butch versus them dynamic happening and like a power play. And
that was probably one of the hottest lesbian scenes I ever saw in a movie, I think.
Oh, it's definitely the hottest lesbian.
And it was so short, too, but man, it was good.
Well, no, there was a really hot one in Bahamas Cheerleader. That was a really hot lesbian.
But I think I may have walked out of that in the movie,
too. One of the ones, and they're like lifting fingers, and they've like big, horrible tattoos. And I love what Jennifer Tilly's wearing, and like her whole character, and like being that like kind of sultry, money-hungry mobster wife, and Louboutins and Chanel purse kind of thing. Really appealed to me.
That's a great choice. I do love Bound. My favorite line. What did she say at the end? She doesn't go, "Fuck you, Caesar." She says, "Caesar." And she says, and then right before she shoots Joe Pantoliano. What a great movie.
I love when the phone. Like the visual is great too. The whole like phone wall to wall kind of scene is really iconic, and like all the money. It's a great movie, and I'm not into like monster movies at all. So it's weird that I like that movie a lot.
And you know that the directors of Wachowski's now one of them had a sex change.
Yeah.
Lana Wachowski now.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. So
I'm just attracted to trans people.
Hey, listen, thank you so much. Do you have any questions for us? I don't know if you want to interview it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure you've got other things to do.
We covered everything.
Like I said, if there's anything you didn't want to talk about too, always. So, but thank you so much for taking the time to call in and talk to us. And
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
We'll definitely put on some good quotes for you here and get your album pushed here in Nashville. So.
We're gonna
Yes, I
edit all
so
this.
appreciate you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Now, I'll definitely, just really quick, just to include, I'll have your Instagram, Twitter, not maybe Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
Anything you want to plug?
anything you want to plug on there. I already know
Yeah,
that.
they're all the same. It's all just Violet Chachki.
Right.
I think my Facebook is Violet Chachki Official.
Okay, and I put down shop.violetchachki.com.
Yes.
Okay, I'll put that on there. And, of course, the album's available on iTunes and all online retailers, right?
Correct.
Perfect. Well, we are going to push it for you, so don't worry. And it's been such a pleasure talking
you.
to you. Thank you so much for calling
Thank
in.
you so much. It was. That's some great questions. I really appreciate it.
All right, well, thank you, and we'll talk to you soon. Hopefully, we'll see you in Nashville one day.
Yeah, I hope